All right, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing first edition Pathfinder, the D&D kind of clone RPG, running Paizo's Rise of the Runelords adventure path. And with me on this epic journey are my two usual companions for Wednesday. First up, Jeffrey.
Hey, everybody.
And Steve-O.
Yo.
So, guys, why don't you quickly tell us who you're playing, and then we will jump into Roll20, get the cameras mixed around, and then get this road on the show, as it were. I'm also going to make sure that we're actually streaming, because for those listening at home, we have had some... Oh. Yep, we're streaming. So, sorry, Steve, who are you playing? We'll go in reverse order this time.
Alehrer, the half-elf wizardess.
And Jeffrey?
And I'm playing Ubungus, the halfling archer.
Yeah. So, let me swap over to Roll20, and then we'll do a little recap of what happened last session. And there was a rule thing that came up last time that I had looked up that I corrected myself on. I honestly don't remember what it was. There's probably something to be said for writing down the questions that I have rather than just winging it. One sec here. So I'll get to screen sharing here. Boom. And present to everyone. I've got that in the way there. There we go. Like that. And let me refresh Roll20. Get my camera going. Outstanding. All right. So I believe, and you guys can correct me if I am wrong here, that last session we had you guys attending the Swallowtail Festival. You had arrived the day before in sunny seaside Sandpoint, which is a small village in the nation of Varesia. You guys arrived for two purposes. For one, Ubungus, you had arrived there. Oh, we lost Steve. Steve, you still there on the Google Plus call?
Yeah, just refreshing.
Oh, great. Okay.
I'm in Roll20 now.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So you guys had arrived there, Ubungus, to deliver a letter to a, or I should say, on behalf of one of your townsfolk, one of the people who used to live in your town, where you were from. And Steve, you had traveled here because your character has a particular interest in the Thessalonian runes, or ruins, I should say, not runes, that litter the Varesian landscape. You attended the Swallowtail Festival, which was intended to celebrate it's an annual holiday for the Church of Desna, the goddess of travelers and dreams and fate, and to consecrate the new cathedral that had been rebuilt following a devastating fire that occurred around 5 years ago. You guys had a chance to sample a bunch of different interesting wares. You got to see a bunch of fun activities across the festival. And then things went bad. When, as they were consecrating the actual cathedral, or bringing everyone together for the local priest to consecrate it, the pack of goblins attacked, appearing from seemingly nowhere and killing a dog. You guys and a group of other strangers sprang into action and defeated the first group of goblin attackers. However, it appears that those goblins were not alone. And so I'm going to ask you to click on your character sheet. I'm sorry, click on your token and then roll initiative, because there are goblins that need to be killed. So let me open up our characters here. There we go. Marcius Falco. Oh, Brent said he was sad that he's not going to be able to join us tonight.
I have to switch to Firefox. It can't handle. I forgot. It's.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Just a second.
No problem.
All right.
Just loading up your colleagues. And just as a reminder, oh, shoot. You know, one thing I should tell you guys, too. So James has created his character for the Iron Gods campaign. And his character's last name is the same as the two Varisians in this campaign. So
yeah, I saw that. That was
so I've deemed it. I can't remember if I replied to all of you guys or just to him, but I have deemed it canon that his character is a cousin of Telebrief and Causton. Like they actually knew each other when they were growing up. Okay, so let me click on the characters here. So Marcius is a little beaten up. Let's see here. Initiative, there is in it. Okay, so Marcius has made his roll. Remember to click on the token before you roll initiative too, guys, just because otherwise it won't register in the
oh, right.
Whoa! So Telebrief just got an amazing initiative result.
They're very specific, these rolls.
Oh, I'm getting some feedback from you there, Steve. Oh, let me just turn you off here again. Maybe that's what's happening. Try talking again, Steve.
They're very specific, these initiative rolls.
Yeah, no, okay, no feedback this time. Yes, they are. There is, I'm missing, let's see here, Alehrer. So, Steve, make sure, again, you click on the token before you roll initiative, otherwise it won't throw it into the initiative order.
Click on the token.
Your character token?
Gotcha.
Yeah. And let me roll for the old Gobos. Gobos got a 9, and they have +2, so Goblins got an 11.
Do I need to roll again?
Yes, I haven't seen what you rolled, so
Sweet.
you do. See. Whoa! That is not good. All right, so let's make this in descending. There we go. All right, guys. So you, as I described last time, you heard that high-pitched, kind of squeaky voice that was chanting out a song, a sinister-sounding song. It's got some great alliteration to it. That was a goblin song. And I know that you've been waiting all week just to hear it again. So why would I want to disappoint my players by not singing it again for you? What they sing is,
goblins chew and goblins bite. Goblins cut and goblins fight. Stab the dog and cut the horse. Goblins eat and take by force. Goblins race and goblins jump. Goblins slash and goblins bump. Burn the skin and mash the head. Goblins here, and you'll be dead. Chase the baby, catch the pup. Bunk the head to shut it up. Bones be cracked, flesh be stewed. We be goblins, you be food.
and they sing it in rounds too, so you get to hear that over and over and over. I will spare you and the listeners at home the goblin impression again, but that is where we are, guys. So these guys have come in, and you hear that as they're going in, and there are 5 goblins that you can see at the bottom of the screen there, right near the southern part of the square. At this point, I think the townsfolk have all sort of run off, and you can hear cries of pain and fear and anger and whatnot, and the sounds of battle from elsewhere in the town at this point. But this is your most immediate thing, is these guys go in, and there are 4 of the goblins. And just as a quick reminder, guys, what the Pathfinder Goblins look like, because they have that terrifically giant head. That's what they look like, guys.
Cute.
Nice.
Those big bitey teeth, that big bulbous head. They're only about 3 feet tall as well. So they're just perfect height to be, make you worry about sort of crotch height attacks. So enjoy that. Then the one that is behind them, actually it's a she, looks like this. And you can see that she is screaming out the same song over and over again. And it seems to be lending some sort of emotional or magical support to the goblins, like driving them on. And as she's singing away, she's whipping that little whip of hers up in the air and screaming away. She sees you. Now, the 4 goblins who have come in, they don't have those big cleavers that those other guys saw, the other guys that you fought. These little bastards are carrying these vicious, burning little torches. And as they're running along, they're kind of like, burn it, burn the Longshanks, burn them all. And they're setting fire to anything they possibly can. You probably see a little like dog kind of like, yeah, and running away as one of them is trying to chase after it with a torch. So that's where we pick up this encounter. First up is Telebrief. So Telebrief looks over and sees that Marcius had that really nasty gash in his right leg from that one of the goblins that you had fought before. So she's going to step over to where Marcius is, and she has not used this yet. Let me go to, where's it here? Is that what I want? No, that's not what I want. I want that. Boom. So she uses, she leans over, she says something in a language. Do either of you guys speak Varisian? I don't think so, but.
No, I don't believe so. I don't ever remember taking Varisian.
Okay, so then she says something, and I'm sort of picturing that Varisian has kind of the reason I'm sort of attempting a like Eastern European accent with them is because I'm picturing them as being like Hungarians, right? Hungarians or like Romanians or something like that. So she says something in Varisian, and there's this like sort of flash of pale blue energy, and the wound in his leg seems to heal. And he says, you can touch me anytime you want there, honey. Remember that Marcius Falco is played by smarmy Sam Rockwell. So next up is Causton. Now, Causton spins around, and you may remember that last time he did not, right now his musket is not loaded. So he sees these things, and what do you guys think he would do? While you're looking, I'm actually going to quickly get his. So here, I'll give you a quick insight into his character, guys. Is Causton, you may think that he seems to be like a ranger because he's got an animal companion and he's got a, he uses a ranged weapon, but he's actually a hunter. And a hunter is a class from the Advanced Class Guide. The Advanced Class Guide presents new classes that are essentially like hybrids of 2 different existing classes. So for this one, a hunter is sort of a hybrid halfway between a druid and a ranger. So he's got some spells as well too. I just want to. Oh, he does. What does this do? Range is long. Yeah. And it plants in a 40-foot radius. That's pretty good. So he looks over. I think this is what he's going to do. I don't mean to interrupt. I just asked you guys what he's going to do, and now I'm telling you what he's going to do. But does that sound like a good plan to try and get some of those fuckers to stop from running around?
Entangled sounds right.
So he turns. He will use his move action, because remember, you guys have a swift, a move, and a standard action, or you can take a full round action where you don't do anything else, but you do some really big thing. Causton will spend his move action to, reload his musket, and then he turns and he says something in a language that none of you guys understand that sounds very primal. And let's see here. One sec here, guys. Okay. So, right. So then what they need to do is make a reflex save to see if they're going to get trapped. So let me roll for these little fuckers. And it's 40 feet, so I believe that's actually going to capture all of them in that sec here. I'll make it green so that it you can tell it's so 40. Geez, I think just do it like this. I'm just going to cover this area here. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, great. So I'll cover that area there, and then we'll make a save for the guys.
Wow, big area.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got two of them succeed, and then for the chanter, chanter fails. All right, so they have now gained the entangled condition. So I forgot to grab my DM screen. One second, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so just because this has some of the conditions listed on it quite easily. Entangled, so no movement, and -2 to all attack rolls, and -4 penalty to dex, which means -2 to their AC as well. That's pretty handy. All right, so that has been Causton's round. Annabelle. He's going to call Annabelle to him, and she will ready an action to charge a goblin if it gets outside of the area. You Bungus, what are you doing?
I need to move closer, so it seems my movement 20, right? Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what's my bow range?
Your bow range, I believe, is like 110 or something.
Oops. That's somewhat. Oh, so it's tons. It's,
yeah.
Okay. So
oh yeah.
Attack. And ranged. Oh, short bow. There you go. Oh. So just the one on the edge there, I guess, takes 1. Like this.
Well,
edge.
here's the upside. So here's another little bit of mechanical trivia for you there, Jeff. When you act in the first round of combat, if you act before another character, that character is flat-footed against any actions that you take. And because your sneak attack targets either flat-footed or flanked targets, that means you can apply your sneak attack damage to this as well.
Oh, okay, perfect.
It's within 30 feet, isn't it? 10, 20, 30. Oh, if you move one more forward, you would be within range.
Oh, which I couldn't quite do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can only move 20.
Hold on here. Let's see here. 10, 20, 30. You know what? Just target this one over here.
Oh, because he's... Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage.
Just a D6, right? Bang. Oh! Also not great.
Okay. So you loose this little arrow, and it hits one of the goblins, one of the ones with the burning brands, and he, mutters, and his feet are still trapped. I should actually mark the ones that are entangled. Geez, I'm off my game today. My goodness. Here we go. My game, get it? Bum. And he is entangled too. So yes. So you hit him, and he staggers back, but it's still the plants, the sort of like little grass and scrub, weeds that are in that area. Those have all, kind of grown up and around the legs of these things, and Does it make it difficult terrain here too? Sorry, I should have actually read this more carefully. For those listening at home too, this is our first real brush with Pathfinder, so you have to forgive some stumbling with learning how these things actually work. And also, yeah, I should say too, guys, between now and the next session, I'm going to be picking up a program that actually allows me to build characters and print them off in PDF. So I'm going to send PDF copies of your character sheets as well too. I'm not sure how handy you will find that, but I find it really helpful to have an actual physical copy of the character sheet as well. So I really want to make sure I have that, in particular for the NPCs, just so I know what they can actually freaking do. Okay, so yeah, this continues on for at least a minute, and it's if you move into the terrain, then they have to make a save against it. Cool. Okay, cool. So then, Ubungus, I think your turn is done.
Yeah.
Next up is the goblins. So these little buggers, to break free, they need to make a strength or escape artist check, and the DC is 13. So, let's see here. The two goblins will should use escape artists because they're not trained in strength. So let's see if they get out. No! And actually, one of them rolled a natural 1. So I think I'm going to rule that he's dropped his brand on the ground. However, one of these guys has now freed himself. And he will use his... Is it a full round action or to break free is a move action? Okay, then he will run and yeah, he'll get out of this area and he'll take the shortest route. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. He goes there, and the other ones who move. Must save against the end of your turn. Okay, so let's see here. 2, 4, and he will charge. He gets out here, and then Annabelle gets a chance to charge him because she had that ready to action. Annabelle's going to try and bonk him with her slam again. Because, as you guys pointed out last time, she probably will not want to put her mouth on these things. Whoa, that's this thing is ready for Annabelle's charge. So the little chimp goes running in, swings at the goblin, and it misses. The other goblin who is not trapped is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll go there, and the war chanter will try and escape as well. And she's screaming at the roots, but does not roll well enough. 13, 12. Yeah, not unless she's got escape artist. She does not. So she's stuck there. And because she's been unable to free herself, she will turn. I just want to check one thing, guys. So I don't know if being entangled affects your spellcasting or not, because I imagine it might. Must make concentration checks to cast all spells. So this thing turns, and Causton is the closest person, so I think he's going to, or she is going to try and cast something on him. She needs to make a concentration check. So, no, too. So she begins to cast this spell, and then she gets her arms, she's kind of flailing them around, saying her words, and then she gets her arm caught up in one of the brambles that's around her, and it screws up her gestures, and the spell fails. So that is it for the goblins. Sir Marcius is up next. He will turns to you, Alehrer, and he says, try to stay behind me this time. And goes 10,
okay,
20. 2, 3, 4. And I think he can charge. He goes racing past Causton and goes running in to try and brain this goblin. Why am I rolling on this? I can just roll on the character sheet. And here we go. Two-handed bastard sword. Oh, that is a massive hit. And one of those goblins is now down to dying. Well, that's interesting. I tried putting in the... Oh, gosh. So I try to enter it as a negative number. And what it does is it subtracts it for you. If you click on the red circle, like where the health bar is, and then you enter in like minus whatever, it'll just subtract that amount from it. I've never noticed that before. Is that how you guys normally track your health, or do you adjust the actual number?
Wait, what? I always adjust the number?
Yeah, so apparently you don't have to do that. So let's say you take 11 points of damage. All you need to do is click on it, click on your character, click on the red circle, and then hit minus whatever the amount of damage you took is, and it'll calculate it automatically.
Oh, okay.
We've been using Roll20 for what, like 2 years now? We haven't like only now we're figuring this out.
That's funny.
It's complicated.
It's complicated, all right. All right, so he goes racing in, yeah, and brings that massive sword down, wham, and drives this goblin down into the ground. Next up is Miz Alehrer. What are you doing?
Alehrer will move 30 feet, which is 6 squares, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
That's right, yeah.
6. Staying relatively behind the companions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's going to have to use her Hand of the Apprentice.
Interesting.
All right, abilities, right? Yes, there it is. And 6. Oh, okay, that's where you mark it. Okay, good stuff. Rock and roll. Boom, on the closest one there. What happened there? Rolling 1.
So you rolled a 1. Oh, sorry, no, you don't want to do that, Steve. You want to go under your attacks. That's under your ability. That's the description of what it does. So yeah.
Right. Okay, hold on here. Attacks. There we go. We're having people in the Hand of the Apprentice. All right. Rock and roll.
Whoa! Boom. 19. Amazing. Which guy were you attacking?
The closest one, right there.
Oh, that guy's down.
Oh.
Sorry, I should have actually marked him. Sorry, Steve. One sec here.
Sorry.
The one that is engaged with Annabelle, though, is right over here. That one is still up and about.
Let's rock. Let's hit that one.
Okay. So here's another example, another reason to, or another opportunity to point out another rule. So when you attack somebody who is engaged in melee with an ally, you take -4 to your attack roll. That's what this thing is. Because this goblin is struggling with that chimp, you take -4. However, you rolled really freaking well. So that is actually it's actually more than good enough to hit it.
Yay.
So you race forward, and again, you say some arcane words, and this staff goes flying out of your hand, smashes into this goblin. You can hear a crunch as its nose is, smashed. Well, actually, his nose is tiny. Maybe it's his cheek. Part of his cheek sort of collapses in, and he staggers to the side. All right, Alehrer, well done. And then if you go into the character sheet, Steve, under abilities, you can adjust the number of times you can use it. So you just adjust it down to 5 out of 7. Yeah, perfect.
All right.
So next up is Telebrief. So Telebrief is going to, who has she not used this on yet? Steve, is your thought that you're going to use that again, Hand of the Apprentice again next round?
I think I might use my weapon and just go for stabby.
Oh, okay. Just a reminder that your hit points are not high. So
okay.
Explosions. Well, in any event, so Telebrief runs forward, and as she's striding forward, she begins speaking in Varisian again, and you can see that there's these glowing, sort of transparent blue cards that are sort of drifting around her, and her eyes flash blue, and she casts Fortune on you, Steve.
Yeah.
So, Alehrer, you will be you're going to have advantage on your next ability check, attack roll, saving throw, or skill check.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. So that's her actions. And then Causton, having trapped these little buggers, he will lower his, let's see here, his musket and fire at, take -4 if he's attacking the one that's attacking Goblin. What do you think, guys? Would he try and take down the one that's attacking Annabelle, knowing he'll take -4, or try and take out one of the other goblins?
I think he would have faith in Annabelle to take out that goblin.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. So maybe focus on the caster. So he will take a shot at that war chanter. Let's see if he can hit. 16 versus touch AC, and her touch AC is a 14, so that is a hit. So again, this bizarre weapon that he has goes off and it hits this goblin, and she sort of staggers and looks up at him, and she's going to be redoubling her efforts to get out of this this entanglement because she wants to kill him. Okay, now let's see here. Next up is Ubungus. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to figure out. There's still 3 of them and the sort of spellcaster thing, eh?
Yes, there's that one that's chanting that seems to be riling up these other goblins. And
I'm going to move here.
Okay.
And I'm going to take my climbing scarf, unwind it from around my neck, and throw it to try and climb up onto this church tower.
Sure. So climbing, I believe, is you just make a check. I think it's an acrobatics check, and then I believe you get to move half your speed. But let me. Oh, it's climb is an actual skill. Hold on. So it will count with your climbing scarf. I believe it'll count as having a rope with a wall to brace against, which means it's a 5. It's a DC 5 climb check.
Okay.
If you want to accelerate, so you want to move more quickly than normal. Sorry, okay, so climb speed is normally a quarter of your speed, but if you climb, do an accelerated climb, then you move half your speed. That gives you a -5 penalty to your climb check, which means you would be making your climb check against a DC 10.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a climb check, please. Yep,
Nice.
no problem. And because you were making a move check, I'll allow you to stow your bow as well while you were moving.
Right, so that he can use both his hands.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you would need both your hands to be able to climb. So
Climb a rope, right. Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect.
okay, so you're scrambling up. That means you are about 10 feet up right now. Okay.
I'm picturing that it's pretty high up, though.
Oh yeah, the cathedral is massive, sweeping structure. Okay, so next up is the goblins. So we got a goblin that is facing Annabelle, and that thing is going to use its brand, the torch. Because of the chanting, even though she's locked up right now, the war chanter is still, screaming away that same stupid song. So the one that's attacking Annabelle, oh fuck, nat 20. So let's see if we confirm the critical hit. 13 plus 1, no, actually plus nothing against Annabelle's AC. Is 13 is not a hit, so at least it's not a critical hit. Ooh, close one there. So but it does hit though, and it does 1d. So this is another optional rule from the Glass Cannon podcast that I actually like. That if you roll 20, like some of your weapons will give a critical hit, or they'll threaten a critical on a lower roll. So like a 19 or 20 or 18 or 20 in some cases. 18 or 20 in some cases, but what their optional rule is on a nat 20, you always do max damage, regardless of whether you do a crit or not. And I think, does that sound okay to you guys?
Sure.
That'll cut
Oh,
both
like
ways.
a 20s. I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so a 20 is always something cool. It's just that you won't do double damage on the 20 if you don't confirm the critical, but you will do max damage. That sound okay?
Sure.
Okay. That means Annabelle takes 3 points of damage, and she is on fire. She screams, and the fur on her back is catches on fire as this goblin is kind of pushing this brand into her. This other goblin, seeing its fellow go down, races up here and goes to try and hit Causton, or hits, I'm sorry, Sir Marcius. And nope, a 2 does not hit. So it goes in, but Sir Marcius is easily able to keep it at a distance. The other goblin that is entangled there, he is going to attempt to get himself out, and unfortunately, he still is trapped in there. He fails. So he will throw his, in frustration, he tosses his brand at you guys. I'm not even going to roll because there's no way that he's going to hit. You know what? Let's see here. I'm going to see if he hits. No, I think everyone's out of range even, so I'm not even going to bother rolling. Though the brand lands about here. And the War Chanter is going to try and get herself out of there. That's a 12. Unfortunately, still not good enough. She's still trapped. So she will try, again, now seeing that big bruiser who is up front, she's going to try and cast another spell. So she begins once again trying to gesticulate and chant out this spell. And I think she failed again. Nope, +4 on concentration. So yes, she succeeds. So she gets her spell off. Now, guys, I think that you guys are able to access all of the NPCs now. Would one of you, just one of you say who would like to do this? Who's feeling lucky, I should say.
Yeah, I'm always lucky.
Okay, so why don't you go into Sir Marcius, please, and click on his will save.
Oh, this could be really bad. I see why you wanted us to do it.
I don't want to accept the blame.
Will save. We're on the alt tab. There it is. Oh, gross. He has no bonus to this.
Nope. A 2. All right. So
holy shit.
he brings his sword back, up from that goblin that just fell. He looks at the one that just attacked him, and then he kind of and he collapses to the ground, prone, screaming out in peals of laughter. He's managed to, let's see here, I'll put prone. So he's on the ground screaming, and laughing, and he can take no actions, but he's not considered to be helpless. So you can see like tears are beginning to even well up in his eyes. He has no control over this laughter. So that's not great. Okay, that is the end of the goblin's turn. Now it is Sir Marcius's turn. So on his next turn, he can make another saving throw. So Jeff, why don't you? Actually, let's swap it over. Steve, Jeff was proved to not be terribly lucky.
Right.
Would you go into Sir Marcius, please, Steve, and make another will save?
Sure, Marcius, where is he? All right. Sir Marcius, come to me. Character sheet. Character sheet is loaded. Willpower, where the heck is that?
It's a little ways down, but not too
There
far.
it is. All right. Oh dear.
So he's still, I can't stop. And so he is prone and rolling around, killing himself laughing.
This is no good.
No good. Alehrer, what are you doing?
Oh man, what is Alehrer gonna do?
Remember, you got advantage on whatever you choose to do this time.
True. Maybe I have to use Hand of the Apprentice again.
Okay.
Otherwise, unless I want to move up forward. Maybe I want to stay out of range though. Okay. So let's do it. What's that?
That was you talking. I was just making sure that the stream was still going.
Gotcha. All right, Hand of the Apprentice, and then how do I do? That's not
Remember,
it.
you do it from the attack.
Right. All right. Hand of the Apprentice. Is there a way to do advantage, or do I just
roll
twice?
once, and then if you're unsuccessful, we'll get you to roll again. Which one are you attacking, Steve? The one that's next to Sir Marcius, or the one that's next to Annabelle?
The one that's next to this one here.
Awesome. Okay. That one will actually miss because she is engaged. Because of the -4, that one would miss. So roll again.
Damn. Okay. Oh shoot.
Yeah, that engaged penalty is pretty brutal.
It is. I didn't realize I had to roll more than 17. Okay.
But this is why the feat precise shot is so helpful, because you ignore that penalty.
I guess so. If I move, yeah, too late to go back and bomb Berlin. Okay.
Well, let's try again. Let's see if you're feeling lucky this next time. Click on.
Come on, baby. Oh, look at that.
Jesus. So unfortunately, that is not good enough. So you try to go again, but this thing, after shattering its cheek last time, it has learned its lesson.
Yeah.
You know, and I just realized I think I forgot to go with Annabelle last time. So, oops. Let's make sure I don't do that next time. Okay. So then it is Telebrief's turn. So Tala is, I think she has used, yeah, she's already used Ill Omen, so she can't use that again. That's not helpful. Maybe one of her.
Wait, have I not taken a feat?
Did you take a feat?
I don't know. I was just trying to check which feat I took, and I don't see one.
Well, I mean, if you want to, since you're playing sort of a ranged character, if you're going to play a ranged character, precision shot is a helpful thing to take.
I think I meant to take that. Like, that's why when you said it, I was like, it sounds like the one I took. But then when
you actually can't take it. You can't take it as a first feat because it has a prerequisite of something called point blank shot.
Oh, that is the one. That's the one I took.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So that remember to add.
I guess I don't know if I wrote it down anywhere.
Oh, make sure you add it to your feat, your character sheet, and also remember to add +1 to hit with a range attack for anything within 30 feet. Yeah, that's what point blank shot does. It's a pretty sweet one. All right, so, man, I think that. Oh, you know what she's going to do? Telebrief. Oh, dang it! She needs to touch him. So she goes kind of scampering over here, and she touches Sir Marcius again. Sorry, I was trying to remember his name. She touches him again and casts Fortune. Oh, grant within 30 feet. She actually doesn't need to move up into melee, so she will hang back. All right. And that's all she does. I think she draws maybe her little knife as well. And then it is Causton's turn. So Causton will use his move action to reload the gun. He spins and sees this goblin approaching his fallen ally. And I think he's going to try and blast that thing rather than try and shoot the chanter again. Boom. How does he do? 17 versus... Whoa! 10 damage. So he spins around, sort of drops to it. Well, he doesn't drop to a knee, but thematically he sort of drops to a knee and fires his musket again. This goblin is like, in Django Unchained, when Django shoots Candy's sister, and then she kind of goes flying back through the room. That's what happens to
Yeah.
this goblin.
Nice.
Bam! Blown right through, and he drops to the ground. And then Annabelle is going to do, and here's a little preview for you there, Jeffrey, is because Annabelle's attacks are all natural attacks, she gets to do all of them this round. So she screams and brings 2 big fists down. You guys can see this now, right?
Yep.
Annabelle,
Slam.
I changed it so it wasn't being whispered. I'll just click them all and see what happens. Okay, so she batters at this goblin. It manages to duck out of the way of one of the hits, but then she manages to connect with both the second kind of boom, uppercut, and then she bites this thing, and it just collapses under the withering attacks of this angered chimp. Let me mark these guys as down, and then next up is Ubungus.
Go Chimpy.
So I'm still continuing to climb up the thing. So do I make another climb roll?
Yeah, if you're going to try to go up faster, then please make a roll again. Yeah.
Oh.
Now the thing is, with climb, I think it's. Let me double check the rule book. I think it is that only if you fail by a certain amount do you actually fall.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well,
so
it's a natural 1 I roll.
Oh.
I'm seriously my natural 1.
Well, here's something I learned from listening to the Glass Cannon podcast: is that a natural 1 is not necessarily a fail with a skill.
Right.
So if your modifier still makes it so that you can actually that you wouldn't fall. So what happens when you fail? Let's see. If you fail by 4 or less, that means that you make no progress, and you only fail by 4 because it was a 10. If you fail by 5 or more, that means you fall from whatever height you've already attained. So that's pretty good. You don't. You sort of, you can picture as you're scrambling up, you lose your footing on your leg, like on the cathedral, and you're sort of like whoa, and are scrambling along on the side, and then you manage to catch yourself, and your heart's beating in your chest. You look down, and you would have dropped 20 feet, or 10 feet. You're only 10 feet up. But phew! All right, so that was your move action. So I think climbing is a move. You could spend. Let's see here. Can you do that twice per round? I think a run. Let's see here. A run is an action, basically is a doing a second to move action. Let me see. You know what? I'll look it up between sessions. Why don't you give me another climb check if you want to try again?
Sure.
To use your standard action to keep climbing.
That one's good.
Yes. Okay. Great. So you're another 10 feet up. So you're 20 feet up now. Fantastic. All right, Ubungus. So you are done. Let's see what the goblins do. So Gobbo, who is trapped, is going to try and get himself out again. Still not yet. You think you can hear him crying now?
Stupid Longshanks! Stupid Longshanks!
He's calling you guys Longshanks, incidentally. That's what they're all kind of calling you. At least that's what it sounds like. And then the War Chanter is pretty pleased how that last spell went off. So she's going to use her last spell of the day. First off, let's make a escape artist check here so she can get out. Nope, she's still trapped. And now a concentration check. Oh yeah, easily. So I think Steve, give me evens or odds.
Evens.
Evens? All right, evens it is. She once again, gesticulates around and says something in Goblin, and then says, "Pointy Longshanks!" And this like flash of magical energy appears in front of her, and then also poof, hits you. And you can feel that there's some magical effect that is trying to take manifest on you. Would you kindly give me a will save, please?
Will saving. All right. Not Sir Marcius. Where am I? All right. Core.
Yeah, I believe it's under core.
Where is my? Uh-oh. It's not showing mine.
You will?
Where is it?
It should. Let me see here. I think that there is. If you click on all the white tabs at the top there, it should show up in that. Initiative, speed, abilities, defenses, attacks. Well, maybe not. What? That's weird. So if you go into core and you scroll down to, it's weird that they don't have a.
Because I know it was under. Yeah, I mean for Marcus.
Defenses. Click under defenses. It'll give you the prompt.
Defenses. There we go.
Yeah.
Will.
Oh, you just rolled Sir Falco. Make sure you roll yours. Sorry. Sir Falco would have made the save. Though. Let's see if she can hold up. Come on, Spellcaster. Show us what you're made of.
All right. No problem. Oh dear, -1.
Oh, nice.
14? Steve, do you really think that 14 would be good enough to save against a powerful goblin spellcaster?
Yes.
Well, you would be correct.
No.
So,
good.
this spell, it tries to take effect on you, but you cast it off. You know what? Don't you have... Oh, yeah, +2 versus enchantment effects. This is an enchantment effect. So actually, you would have rolled a 16. You thank your goblin parent, your elven parent, whichever one, your mother or father was the elven half. But yes, your heritage has helped you shake off this crude goblin magic. Speaking of crude goblin magic, why doesn't someone give me a save for Sir Marcius? Let's see if he can shake off this hideous laughter spell.
All right, well, I already got it. Hey, he already did one. Okay, I'll do another one.
That was done in error. I want intent.
Hey, check it out.
Hey, he did it.
Okay, so he finally, what it does is he spends a full round trying to collect himself. And again, like he's played by Sam Rockwell, so you can picture him on the ground, writhing around, killing himself laughing, tears streaming down his face. And he finally manages to collect himself, but he is still prone on the ground, although he's not cackling away. Alehrer, what are you going to do? Spotlight's on you.
Alehrer. All right. Everyone loves Alehrer. That should be the name of the show. All right. What are we going to do? Maybe she's got to move forward. And she doesn't want to move forward because she feels vulnerable. But she could... Well, mind you, my range on my Hand of the Apprentice is pretty far, isn't it?
The range on Hand of the Apprentice, I believe, is 30 feet. That's usually what the short range things... It should say... Oh, you know what? You've already clicked on the ability before, so let's take advantage of Roll20's awesome interface. Take a look here. Yeah, 30 feet. Standard action, you make a single attack using a melee weapon at a range of 30 feet.
All right.
Really, you can take just a quick couple steps forward and then beam one of the two surviving ones. Now, remember, here's an advantage of attacking those little dinks who are still entangled. They have -4 to their dexterity, which means their AC is 2 lower.
Ooh, okay. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm going to step forward.
Not to dictate, but you know exactly who cast that spell at you. It's that goblin war chanter who's angrily cracking this whip and trying to get herself free of the entangling roots.
All right, well, I'm going to return the favor.
Okay.
Here we go.
You stride forward.
Hand of the Apprentice.
Oh, amazing. So it flies out from your hand, smashes into that goblin, and whoa, 7 points of damage. That's amazing. So she, you really ring her bell. Sort of staggers back. She looks like she's almost ready to drop her whip, and you're pretty sure that you fractured something in her head because she's sort of, that singing she was doing is now suddenly really off key, even more so. Yeah, it's sort of like a Looney Tunes, punch drunk kind of like goblins smashing, goblins bite. So you have royally fucked her up. Next up is Telebriefing. So I think what she does now, because she's used this on everyone, and she can only use it on people once a day, is she now turns and rests her hand on her brother's shoulder. And in the movie version of this, again, she is played by Ali Sheedy from Breakfast Club era. And she sort of leans in to Causton, who is played by Diego Luna. And she says in Varisian, but we can see in subtitles, finish them, and casts Fortune on him. So he'll get to roll twice and take whatever's best. Causton then, once again, uses move action to reload his musket, brings it up. He aims at the war chanter, who's singing broken and off key. Let's make 2 attacks here. Come on, crit. No crit. 15 versus touch AC, though, is good enough. And see, that last musket shot goes right through this thing's face, and it drops to the ground, dying.
Excellent.
All right. And Annabelle is going to she's going to ready an action. If the goblin gets free of the brambles, she's going to attack. But right now she's sort of just, striding back and forth. And you know what? I should actually make a save for that. Or not save, a handle animal. One of you guys, why don't you go into Causton and give me a animal handling. Click on the skills tab and give me an animal handling check, please. What he's very, so you guys know, in case one of you plays a character that has a pet, is that with your animal companions, there you get a couple freebie tricks that they automatically know, and then you can make the animal do quite easily. To avoid something attacking something else, though, you want to use the stay command, and Annabelle does not know that yet. So that means what he needed was, I believe, a 20, but 24 is easily good enough. So Causton says, as he's bringing the musket down, getting ready to reload it, Annabelle, no. And Annabelle sort of looks back at him and angrily at the one surviving goblin, and sort of bats her chest in frustration. She really wanted to go get that goblin. Ubungus, you are 20 feet up in the air right now. What are you doing?
Crazy.
To get to the top of the ledge is probably still way too far up.
Well, no, I think 20 feet is more than enough to get to the ledge on the first story.
The first part of the tower.
Yeah, not to the roof of the cathedral.
Right, as the way the image where we're looking sky down, but he is up on the ledge.
Yeah,
then he'll move across the ledge.
Okay.
And shoot at the last goblin.
Okay, remember you don't have any weapon in your hand at this point, so you're going to use, as part of your move action, you're going to draw your
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay. And then let's see if you can take this guy down. You get +2 because you're from a higher position. And Jeff, didn't you tell me that you wanted to make a stealth check to see if the goblin couldn't see you?
Yes.
So it's coming through a little unclear today, so I may have missed that, but let's see that dice roll.
If he saw me up there, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Nobody saw me up there.
30. No one knows where you got. The Sir Marcius, as a bit of flavor, Sir Marcius sort of gets up and he's like, "Where'd the little guy go?" And then we cut to you, and you're sort of race along the ledge on the side of the cathedral. You pass these beautiful bits of kind of not frieze. What do you call them? I guess it is a frieze, the inlaid carvings in the side that are prayers to Desna and some of the other gods worshipped in here. You stop by this beautiful carving of an ornate butterfly, and we hear this as your bow string is brought back, and you fire at this guy. Because he cannot see you, you are firing against his flat-footed AC, and he takes -2. Actually, because he's flat-footed, the AC doesn't apply anyway. And you know what? A 12 is good enough.
Nice.
Hit. You also get to roll for your sneak attack damage because he is
Yeah.
flat-footed.
Boom. An extra 4.
So how does this little puke? Remember, this is the one that was so frustrated, and actually he was so frustrated he threw his brand away and was actually crying. So how does he die?
He's like, as he's screaming up at the sky, he sort of sees my arrow right at the last second as it goes right down his throat.
Blood spews out of this thing's mouth. Long shanks. And then falls down, dying. So, just as a reminder for Pathfinder rules, when you are brought below 0 hit points, it doesn't mean you're dead automatically. You don't die until you hit your negative Constitution score. But the thing is when you are below when you're dying, you lose 1 hit point per round. So absent any kind of intervention, you're gonna die. So
Right.
That's why I've been putting these X's on these guys, is because they don't have any special ability to keep acting when they're below when they're below 0. So unless you guys want to do anything to try and save these things, I'm just going to assume that they die. And just going forward, I'll do that with all of the adversaries that you fight. Unless you tell me that you're doing something to try and prevent them from dying, then
Well, I think in this case, if the sheriff is not doing something, like if the sheriff is not acting to save them, then we assume that the town would not take goblins as prisoners.
Would you guys both give me a perception check, please?
Perception.
Yeah, the fastest way to get there, I think, is through the skills tab. I remember last session, Steve. God damn it, did I not train in perception again?
Yeah, you'd think I'd learn.
Well, 13 is good enough. So, Alehrer, you see these things go down, and then you hear, actually, from not terribly far away, there is still that, like, the ambient sound of a town under attack, right? But you hear from not far away a man's voice cry out, "Help! Help! Please!" And it seems to be coming off from this direction.
Hmm.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, a 10. I think you, Bungus, you probably heard that as well. It sounds like it's maybe a couple alleys down. What do you guys want to do? Marcius, struggles to his feet and dries his eyes, and he says, "I hate goblins." What do you guys want to do?
Well, I think we should probably check out the.
Yeah.
We're sort of heroic types, the yelling person.
Okay. Ubungus, how are you going to get down from up there?
I don't have any flying or jumping abilities, so I guess I'm going to climb down using my scarf.
Sure. We won't roll that. Give me one roll. Give me one climb check, and
Okay.
if you want to take your sweet time, it's only a DC 5 then.
Right. Like he's not sprinting.
Yeah. So you shimmy down, and I'm just going to say you guys all go racing off together. So let me just, and as you're running down this street and making your way towards the sound that you heard. I'll just transfer you guys over. You can hear that there are more voices than just that man's voice. There are also some squeaky goblin voices that you heard before.
Get your Longshanks. Get your dog too. We're gonna get you and your dog. We're gonna eat you.
So you guys are racing down. Oh, maybe I should move you to the actual map. How'd that be, huh?
Yeah, that
DM.
helps.
Jeez. All right, here we go. So, can you guys see where you are now?
Yeah, like an alleyway.
So it's from up here, guys, is where that sound is coming from. Let me move you up just a little bit so you're a little closer, and I'm going to rearrange just a bit so that those of you who are a little shorter legged are a little further behind. Only because I think you would be. I don't mean to pick on our wee companions here, but so there we go. That's where we are, guys. Let me clear the initiative counter, and let's click on your token, and then please click on initiative.
Da-dun, da-dun.
Wrong character. Oh, god damn it.
Ooh. Another natural one.
But you didn't click on your token, so it didn't count actually.
What? It shows on my screen.
You know, maybe mine's. Oh, sorry, I had a little lag on mine. Excuse me. I was talking too much today. I think my voice is. All right, so here we go. Let's Causton. No, gosh darn it. Telebrief. And foul.
You gotta roll, Alehrer.
Finally.
Okay. So Alehrer, you remember you need to click on your token before you click on the initiative.
I thought I had. All right. Going again.
Let's see here.
Yeah. That's more like it.
And let's roll for the old gobbloids. So it's a 16 for the goblins. Let me wrong layer here. I know I say this every time, but we're about to do my absolute favorite thing in
The big reveal.
the big reveal. Is seriously my favorite part of this game. Okay, so let's go through initiative order here, guys. First up is Telebrief. You guys can feel free to move her token. I'm on a different layer at this point, so you can feel free to move her token. She can move up to 30.
Oh, okay. So I guess she would be the first one to come around this corner.
And
I don't know
said,
if she's purposely moving only 20 because that's the speed of like the slowest character kind of thing.
yeah, I think so. She's sort of hustling as much as she can, but she comes around the corner and then she kind of gasps and staggers back. Move her south by 1 square.
Oh, like this way?
Yep. Okay. And then next up is something you can't see, and they're sort of reacting. They see her, and that's what I'll do for them this turn. Next up is Sir Falco. Would you kindly move Marcius up in front of Telebrief, please?
Yeah, I think that if she gasped, he would.
Yeah. You can take that purple token off of him because he's not prone anymore.
Oh, right.
As well. And then next up will be Causton. And I think you can move him to the right of Telebrief, please.
Yep.
And Annabelle
would move at the same time.
Yeah, same time, and I think that's within. She'll have to make 2 moves. Yeah, that sounds good. And then it is Alehra's turn.
Alehrer will move to.
Let's see what they're gasping about. Oh my gosh! I'm going to wait until Ubungus goes.
Well, he's not going to go around the corner, so you can do it now.
Oh, he's not? Okay. So, Alehrer, you come around the corner and you identify the sounds, the source of the voices that you've been hearing. There's a man. Help! Please help! And there are some other hideous little things that look like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are 5 goblins, a little mob of goblins, and then in front of them is a goblin atop this disgusting, it looks like a shaved rat crossed with a dog. And this is what it looks like. Longshanks, kill your dog! And as you come around, the guy who you see there, he actually doesn't have a little cleaver with him. He has a short bow. And you hear a flang as he is riding along. He shoots out, and there is a dog right in front of this that man who's there, that human. The human is cowering behind a big, like a box or a crate that's in the alleyway, and his dog is in front there, barking at these goblins, trying to keep them at a distance. But this goblin on the back of the shaved rat thing fires an arrow, hits the dog, falls down still. And all the goblins behind the guy who's on the mount are all kind of like, dog dies, die, dog, die. And then we get to the top of the round again.
Wait, it's my turn.
Oh yeah, well yeah. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm climbing up onto the roof.
Oh, okay. So the roofs here are probably one story. Give me a couple of climbing checks. Let's see how far you get up there. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, one
Ooh,
success,
one success. Okay, so you are 10 feet up then.
Nice.
And I think the roof is probably, I don't know, I think probably 20 feet, let's say. So there'll be maybe
Okay.
what?
Yeah, they
one
look a
more
little
success.
slanted there. So.
Yeah, and then you can scramble around on the roof. Okay, so we're at the top of the round now. Telebriefing. What is Telebriefing going to do? I think because she has not used it on the... Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Am I? Say it. Hold on. There we go. She is going to lean in to Annabelle. And she says something in Varisian. And what we see in the translation underneath is make them pay. And Annabelle has been given fortune from Telebriefing. Then it is the goblins' turn. All right. So they spent their last turn becoming aware that you guys are here. So let's see here. This first goblin screams and goes running towards Marcius with his vicious little goblin dog slicer or cleaver type thing. And a 14 is not good enough. He swings it in, and between the last encounter and this one, Marcius has drawn his shield out, so his AC is even a little better. He batters this thing's clumsy swing aside. The next goblin goes running in. Oh, against you, Alehrer. Uh-oh. This ugly little thing comes racing at you. You know, and it's worth taking a moment just to dwell on how fucking horrible these Pathfinder goblins are. Because you can picture that these things they're 3 feet tall. So they come up to about your waist. And they're mostly teeth and stabbing implements. So this thing is just going racing along and tries to swing this, cleaver that's as long as its arm at you, Alehrer. And rolls a 4. So
yeah.
swings at you and misses.
Nice.
Then
Nice.
another one goes racing forward. And all you hear is it just keeps screaming out, like it makes this one word stream out for the entire time that it's going along. Monkey! And it swings, and it actually hits Annabelle. So would one of you guys kindly add, for Annabelle's token, she should have control over that as well. Annabelle takes 4 points of damage as this thing hacks her. She was on fire last turn too, right? I forgot to put that out. I'll put that down as my list of...
Nobody has any hit points of... Every hit is very dangerous.
Oh, yeah. First level is awesome for DMs. All right, so the other goblins, I think they're just going to move up, and they can't quite engage because they can't move past their allies, and they can't squish past them. So you guys have got a bit of a bottleneck situation here. But this little puke on the goblin You know what, guys? Jeff, you are trained in knowledge local, right? Or Humongous is? Yeah, knowledge local check. Let's see if you know what the name of this thing is. Because it's an interesting little tidbit of goblin lore. Yeah, that's easily good enough. So I mentioned last session that Pathfinder Goblins, they absolutely fucking hate dogs. They hate dogs and they hate horses. But these disgusting hairless things, they call them dogs. Every other race calls them goblin dogs. But they call them dogs. And they fucking adore these things. And they're nasty. Like, you think of the worst tempered old dog that you've ever met in your life, and then, you know, make it unwashed for 3 months, and then shave it down so it's nothing but mottled and diseased skin. That's what this thing is. And this little goblin on the back of this goblin dog, it screams out something in goblin. The thing wheels around, and in some really hideous, you know, parody of a mounted archer, it's sort of like, you know, riding along on the back of this thing, its giant stupid head, you know, bobbling along. It tries to take a shot at actually Alehrer again, because he does not like you, Alehrer. And the shot goes off. The goblin arrow flies through the air, and I don't think a 10 hits you, does it?
Woo! I don't think so. Let's see here. Where is my AC?
Well, actually, they've also got a -4 to hit because you're engaged with one of his allies.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I think that probably goes to, like, you don't have an AC of 6, do you?
I don't think so. Where is my AC?
If you click on defenses, I think it displays there.
There you go.
Oh, you know what? I actually, the blue circle on your token, I forgot. I set that as your AC.
11.
Nice. So yeah, this arrow goes flying over. These goblins don't seem to like you.
No, they don't.
Okay, so that is it for the goblins. Sir Marcius. Who would like to control Sir Marcius?
Rock me, Amadeus.
Okay, so Steve-O, Sir Marcius has a massive, that big bastard sword of his is in one hand, but I'm actually going to intervene here because I've got a little story. So I just dangled something in front of you, but I forgot that I wanted to show you a very cool ability he has.
Okay.
So he turns to these things, and he gets this very serious face on him, and you can see that he's been struggling with something. The reason I picked Sam Rockwell, incidentally, guys, as the character that plays him, is because not only does Sam Rockwell do a really good job of playing a kind of funny, charismatic character, he also does a really good job of playing a tortured soul. So if you think of, I don't know if either of you guys have seen Moon, but you know, like, near the end, yeah, Jeff, have you seen Moon?
Yeah, I really like Moon.
Yeah, I love it. So you know what, near the end where the character is really fucking sick and he's, you know, his face is sunken in, he's lost all his color.
Yep.
So he looks like that right now. Marcia sort of, you know, trembles and shakes. And I'll click on the ability so you guys can see it. He looks at these things, and then his face, and as he breathes in, all color goes out. So it looks like he is a corpse. His eyes turn black, like bottomless wells of darkness. His teeth all sort of, you know, seem to like stain over like a, you know, 5-year-old corpse. And he unleashes his frightful gaze at the goblins. Get back, he says. And the goblins are afflicted with a supernatural ability. Let me see if they, let's see, it's within 30 feet, and they need to make a will saving throw. Okay, so there are 5 goblins there. Their will, you may not be surprised to learn, guys, is not great. So they need a, let's see here, DC 13, fail. Okay, so we got 3 failures. And if they are fail, they are paralyzed in fear. Oh, you know what? I didn't say which ones it was. So let's roll randomly here. 3, 1, and 6. Okay, awesome. Okay, so guys, this one let's say purple is
Point to
paralyzed.
market.
That one is paralyzed.
But it only works on 3 of them?
No. It's just those are the ones I rolled for so far.
Oh, I see.
2 of them made their save. 2 of them failed, and this is one of these things where it helps that you've got a DM who doesn't ever fucking plan ahead. I didn't even think about this maneuver when I moved the Goblin Archer forward.
Oh,
So now
yeah,
he's
he's
gonna
in
be affected.
range.
Yeah, he's in range now. So let's make a save for him. I rolled a 13, so he's sort of like what I will say that he certainly is going to be focusing his fire on Sir Marcius now. Here's an awesome thing about things that are paralyzed, Jeff. They're flat-footed.
Flat-footed.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Nice.
so that is Sir Falco's action, because that was his standard action. He's not going to take a move, not going to take a swift. Next up is Causton. Jeff, why don't you take control of Causton?
Sure.
What is Causton going to do?
Let's see. Let me click on his ability. Wait, which one? Attacks? So he's got a battle axe, a dagger, and a musket. Oh, well, he'll command Annabelle to attack.
Okay, so give me a animal handling check, and the DC for this one, because it is a trick she knows, I think it's like a 5. So what's his bonus? You're rolling on Ubungus.
Oh, whoops.
Ubungus says attack, and Annabelle looks back at Ubungus and kind of gives him a confused look.
His bonus is 6.
Oh, so yeah, hold on. I think it's an
you got
auto
a
16.
16.
You automatically can do it.
There we go.
Yep. So no problem. That is a free action to. Oh, hold on. I think it's a free action. Let me double check. I looked that's one of the things I looked up between the last session and this one. Yeah, handle an animal is a 10, and it is a move action. Yeah, no problem. So he spends his move action to tell Annabelle to attack. Annabelle will do that. So this is against a flat-footed goblin. Once you control Annabelle, then 2, Jeff. Click on Annabelle, and then she can use both of her slams and her bite.
Okay. Slam.
Oh, so first one is a miss. Second one is a hit. Wait, hold on. Yeah, flat-footed still is a miss. Bite. Oh, the bite is unfortunately a miss.
So 1 hit.
1 hit. Great. Okay, so that is 4 points of damage, though. That's not bad at all. She bites into this, she batters away at this thing, and unfortunately it's got some armor on it that manages to protect it. But she does manage to sink her. Oh no, it's a slam. So she managed to batter it kind of on in the head as it stares at the face of Sir Marcius that is slowly going back to normal. And then, sir, what is Causton doing? I'm assuming he has loaded his musket.
Yeah, and he's going to fire on the goblin dog.
Good call. Okay.
So musket.
So 12 versus touch. So here's the awesome thing about the touch thing. Remember that you have 3 different kinds of armor class in Pathfinder. You've got your regular AC, which accounts for your ability to get out of the way, as well as the protective effect of your armor. You have your flat-footed, when your ability to get out of the way doesn't factor in and just your armor applies. And you have your touch, where your armor does fuck all. And it's just your ability to get out of the way. A goblin dog, you might think, is a fairly quick and nimble adversary, and you wouldn't be wrong about that. However, Causton is a crack shot, and that is a hit.
Nice.
So blasts off again, and he hits the goblin dog. Oh man. Okay, so it yelps. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Shoot, I forgot. I've got a neat thing, because he has a trick. He's got an ability called mounted combat, and when the mount, actually, hold on, let me look it up. So I read that before. This is sorry. My apologies, guys. What I had intended to do before each Pathfinder session is to make sure I've got all the little rules clear in my head before we play the session, and I forgot to do that this time. Once per round, when your mount is hit in combat, you may attempt a ride check to negate the hit. So you'll see you rolled a 12 to hit. So the goblin who's on the back of this thing, whose name is Brunkel, fuck, he rolled a 5. So Brunkel tries to, he calls his dog Curly. Curly, no! And he pulls back on the reins, and unfortunately it is not good enough, so Curly still gets shot. All right. Alehrer, you are up. What do you want to do?
Alehrer, is there such a thing as shifting in Pathfinder?
Yes, it's what's called a 5-foot step. And as long as you don't take a move action, you can take a 5-foot step. And what that does, do you mean something to not incur an attack of opportunity, Steve?
That is correct.
Yep, it's a 5-foot step. So you can move 5 foot, and the only restriction there is that you can't move again that round.
Right. Okay. Well, let's move 5 feet to there, and then blast off a color spray.
Okay, you would still be attracting an. Either what you have to do is make a concentration check to cast defensively, so that you can. Like, one of the ways you can get around that is you can do what's called cast defensively. What you do is you make a concentration check, and the DC for that is, I think it's 10 plus the level of the spell you're casting, so it would be 11 in this case. No, 15. So casting defensively is 15 plus double the spell level, so your concentration DC would be a 17.
What? And that's because I'm moving, or
that would be if you're in a place where you would attract an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
When you cast a spell, what you can do instead is cast defensively, which is to avoid that attack of opportunity. It just makes it harder to get that spell off.
Oh, so wait. So if I cast a spell, I'm attracting an attack of opportunity when I'm next.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If you cast a spell yeah. I mean, it attracts an attack of opportunity if you're engaged with the target. One little tidbit I'll point out here, guys, is when you use a wand, it does not attract an attack of opportunity. So it's a reason why wands are pretty cool magic items. But anyway, so what you could do though, Steve, is you could move back to here, to that square there.
Yeah. And
then you're out of melee range. You don't have to worry about attacks of opportunity, or you can try and cast defensively.
Right.
Right. It's just because you didn't leave its threat range that it was a problem.
Yeah, and if you're worried about the target number, Steve, let's see here. Where would it be? I think it's on your core page. No, it'll be on your spell book. If you click on your spell book, I think that it shows up there. I believe that you took a feat called combat casting, which gives you +4 to your concentration checks.
Okay.
Normally what the concentration is I believe it's your level plus your whatever your spell casting ability is. So for you, it's your intellect. So really, like you do, I think, have a +9 to your concentration check already.
Oh, really? And I don't lose my spell if I don't make my concentration check?
No, you lose the spell. It's a gamble.
So wait, I got to roll more than 8 then, basically.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, let's rock and roll.
Or you could, let's try it. Nice.
All right. So I'm shifting there.
Let's see how it goes.
And then the spell would get all 5 of those guys, right? Color spray. It's a 15-foot cone.
15-foot cone. It absolutely would. Yep, definitely.
All right. Okay, so I'm just rolling a d20 straight up.
Yes, please. Oh no, click on your spell book and then click on concentration. It'll make your roll for you.
All right. Spell book.
I think that's where you find concentration. If it's not there, I'll click on Telebrief and figure
concentration check.
Oh, sweet.
Here we go.
Hey, big money.
Come on, baby.
Oh yeah. So close.
What's up?
Oh, but that was what you rolled without your combat casting bonus.
That's right.
So Steve-O, you roll a 20, which means you succeed. So go and click on color spray and let's see what happens.
Alrighty. Woo, that was fun. All right. Color spray.
Whoa, DC 15. That is not good news for these goblins.
No.
So a vivid cone of clashing colors springs forth from your hand, causing creatures to become stunned, perhaps also blinded, and possibly knocking them unconscious. Holy shit. So let's see here. These things, 15. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so you don't quite get the goblin dog, but you will get all of those goblins.
Right.
For 2 hit dice or less, the creature is unconscious, blinded, and stunned for 2d4 rounds, then blinded and stunned for 1d4 rounds, and then stunned for 1 round. Holy shit. So they get the will save. Let's see here. What happens if you succeed the save?
This is almost as good as sleep.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. All right, so let's see here. It's DC 15 will save. I got 3 of them who are making the save. Let's see how they. Oh, sorry, 5 of them making a save. Fail, fail, fail. Succeed, succeed.
Ooh.
So, but now it's a question of which ones succeeded. So I'm just going to roll for those randomly again. 2, 4, 6, 7. So it's the one actually shit right in front of you succeeds, and
All right.
3, 1, 2, 3. So it's, and this one over here. So let's see here. Let's mark it with a snail. So there's sleep. There's a snoozy one. So
They're unconscious, blinded, and stunned. So roll 2d4, Steve.
All right.
good lord.
2d4.
I'll just apply that against all of them. Whatever you roll.
4.
For 4 rounds, they're unconscious, blinded,
Wow.
and stunned.
So those goblins are completely unconscious. All right. Well, that is amazing. Make sure you take that or untick it so that you've got your spell has been cast. And then it is Ubungus's turn. Ubungus, what do you do? You're scrambling up the side of that
climb. Nice.
Whoa! Awesome! 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 Okay, so you are that's 10 feet. So you're now use your move action to scramble to the top of the roof. So you can go ahead and place yourself on the roof. What would you like to do now?
So I guess I'll get my boat and get ready for next turn.
You can move. Like you could do a run, which is basically to not run.
Oh, I see. To like move again. Okay. So
Yeah.
but I will stealth move.
Ooh, good call. So go ahead and give me. I'm going to give you +2 to your stealth check because I don't think they would ever expect you to be on the roof. So
Okay,
15.
So 15.
Yeah, that'll be. I think they are way too distracted by what's going on the ground. So yeah, you're no problem at all.
Move me up to there.
Okay, and all right. So the next up is Telebrief. What's Telebrief going to do?
Alehrer points at the one in front of her.
Yeah, I think everyone's already benefited from her. Oh, you know what she does? Actually, I know exactly what she does. Because that's someone who she hasn't used it on yet. Boom. She uses her healing hex and heals Annabelle of 7 points of damage.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right. So Annabelle is back up to full. Those burns on her back heal up that nasty scar from where that goblin hit her. Heals up. And that is it. Now it's the goblin's turn. All right, so we've got one goblin. Actually, and the paralysis will last until. What does it say on the? I'm not going to interpret. I'll just read the actual rule here. Paralyzed in fear for 1 round, so that will last. Oh yeah, this is the round, right? Like we haven't even gone through 1 round of combat yet. Good lord.
Yeah, that was the end of the first round.
So the goblin that stands there's.
Oh no, that was the second round.
2 of them, yeah, second round, I guess. But Marcius hasn't had his action yet. So, yeah, though there are some that just stand there dumbfounded. There are 3 that drop to the ground, sort of like, and when I'm picturing sort of after the flash that the goblins went kind of like rigid and then went, and are staring off blankly into space. There's one that's paralyzed that cannot do anything, and then there's the one in front of Alehrer. Alehrer, this goblin, it is clearly more clever than the others, because when it saw you casting your magics, it covered its eyes briefly, and then shows that flash of color, and then it brings its big cleaver up and down. Oh, That's a 22 to hit.
Holy
It manages to connect, and it says, "Cut you, long shanks." Ooh, you take 5 points of damage, Alehrer.
Ooh. All right.
Okay. And then the Goblin Archer is riding along on Curly. And it again, now it actually is really pissed at Causton, so it's not going to try and shoot. Actually, it doesn't even have a line of sight to Alehrer at this point. So he will shoot again. It's a massive penalty. Yeah. Phew, this arrow goes flying off wildly over Causton's head. And it's cursing Curly and cursing Causton at the same time.
Longshanks, get you! Shoot you, Longshanks! Curly! Attack! Attack, Curly!
And the dog sort of, or the goblin dog sort of moves here, and then here, and then here, and then here. And it's sort of like, calling out in this disgusting imitation of a bark, trying to figure out what's causing it pain. And now it is Sir Falco's turn. So Steve, forgive me for taking his turn away. Marcius goes back to normal. And what would he like to do now?
Marcius, and this is Sir Marcius right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sir Marcius, the sort of special ability he has, which he probably wouldn't use yet, he's got this cool ability to once a day challenge a target. And then he gets some bonuses from doing that. He can also do that frightful gaze another 2 times in a day. But he's pretty fucking lethal with that big bastard sword of his, too. So you might want to consider just trying to mash that goblin that's flat-footed in front of him.
Might just want to do that. I think so.
Okay. So you can click on his attacks, and I've got listed there one-handed bastard sword and two-handed bastard sword.
All right. And two-handed bastard sword?
One-handed, because he's got his shield out right now.
Okay. You rock and roll.
Whoa!
Nice.
I don't think that's a nat 20, but still, Jesus, 13 points of damage. So yeah, suffice it to say that goblin is on the ground, dying.
Good.
Brings that thing down, and it clumpers.
Nice. I like it.
We're making words tonight. It crumples underneath the force of that sword and lies dying, joins its brethren on the ground, dying. Causton. Jeff, what's Causton going to do?
I think Causton has to reload, right?
Yes, he has to spend a move action to reload. So the musket is reloaded again.
Oh, so he can fire every turn if he's not moving.
Yeah. So let you know, so one of the downsides to firearms is that they take for fucking ever to reload and that their range is garbage. But the upside is if you take the rapid reload feat, like what Causton has, it cuts the time down. If you also decide to pony up and spend a bunch of money, you can buy these things called alchemical cartridges that speed up the reload even more. That's why normally it's a full round action to reload a musket. But because of the combo of those two things, Causton is able to reload them as a move action.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so wait, as a free action, he commands Annabelle?
At this point, Annabelle's already been instructed to attack, so she's good to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she can just, I mean, basically, if you say she attacks that goblin on the ground, I'm just going to make him dying. Because he can't really do anything. It's effectively a coup de grace.
Right, okay.
So you, bam, bam, she starts battering away on this goblin. What is Causton going to do?
So Causton will fire. Yeah, see, the one by Alehrer is in melee with Alehrer still.
Yeah, so he would take a -4. Technically, that goblin is in melee with both Annabelle and Alehrer.
Yeah, I guess he will attempt it, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of blood coming off the end of that cleaver right now.
Yeah, he is. So he's going to fire.
Okay.
Please roll. Oh, my God, what a bad roll.
Fires the musket, and a bit of stucco from the side of one of these buildings is blown off. He curses in Varisian. But speaking of the lady, Alehrer, it is now your turn. What are you doing?
Alehrer. Well, first of all, she is going to move backwards 5 feet.
Okay. So
Drunk?
remember, if she's taking a 5-foot step, then that's
Yeah.
the only movement she can do this round.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, you stagger back and you do it cautiously so that the goblin doesn't get another slash on you. And then what do you do?
And then she is going to, and she's kind of out of spells, but she's not out of apprentice hands.
She also has, just as a reminder, I think you've got a bunch of cantrips prepared too. You never run out of those. Those you can cast as many times as you like.
Right. And
They're not super effective necessarily, but I mean, it's something better than nothing. Your Hand of the Apprentice would do more damage than what your Ray of Frost would do.
Right. Let's use Hand of the Apprentice.
Okay. So you stagger back. Is she angry at this goblin, or is she scared of it, or is it a combo of the two?
Yeah, she's smarting. She's a bit nervous, but she's keeping it together.
Okay. She stands back and then gestures with her magic, and let's see how this Hand of the Apprentice goes.
Ooh.
Oh, apparently the pain is just a little much. She was rattled by that the attack from the goblin, so she sort of wildly. It wasn't a nat 1, I don't think.
No.
No. Yeah, it'll show up. So yeah, you send that thing out, and it sort of like flies over the head of this one fallen goblin, one of the ones that's unconscious. So like in the movie version, we see this thing on the ground, kind of, and we see right past his face and right past his face again. Okay, so then it is Bungus's turn. So you go racing over, and you see this madness, this sort of crazy scene where there's one dead two dead goblins on the ground. There are 2 that seemingly are just like staring off into space for some reason. And there's one that is viciously attacking Alehrer. And then there's, of course, Brunkel mounted on the back of Curly. Who's
right. I think that Ubungus originally was going to shoot the dog, but then he sees the big wound on Alehrer and sort of the bloodthirsty goblin in front of her.
Yep.
And he's going to shoot that one.
You absolutely have. So let's just make sure we get all your bonuses here. So you get +2 because of a superior position. You're firing from a higher position, and it's within 30 feet, so you get +1 to hit. And if you hit, you get to apply your sneak attack damage because it is flat-footed against you.
Right. So it's +3 to hit and +d6 to damage if I hit.
Yep. So let's see here. You line up your shot. Whoa, nat 20! Hot damn.
Holy shit.
Awesome. And you confirm the crit. So I believe this is our first PC crit of the game.
Wow.
So, because for those listening at home, we are playing with Pathfinder's optional critical hit deck, which is pretty freaking cool. So here's what we got. Now here's this is just a little bit of a tidbit. You can see the bottom of your attack things, or your attack little matrix or whatever. It tells you what type of attack it is, whether it's piercing or bludgeoning or whatever. One cool thing about firearms, see, it says B and P. It's both bludgeoning and piercing. So like things that are vulnerable to bludgeoning things or things that are vulnerable to piercing, it can hit both of those things. And when you crit, you get to pick from 2 different results, which is kind of cool. But for yours, you got crit, and it's a nat 20, which means your first attack will do maximum damage 2. So that's 4 points of damage. Plus the crit damage is 5. Why is that +1?
I don't know.
That's weird. I don't know why that's adding an extra 1 in there.
I don't know what that is.
It's a weird little. Well, whatever. So basically, you're going to do 8 points of damage to this thing. Plus, let's see here. So it is a piercing thing. Stinger does normal damage, and the target is sickened for 1d6 rounds. Sickened means -2 on all attacks and rolls and stuff like that.
Nice.
So it'll do 4 points of damage against this thing, and then it is sickened for. Give me a roll of 1d6.
1. I think it also took the d6 of my sneak attack.
Oh yeah, right. Go ahead and roll the sneak attack damage. So maybe that might actually kill it.
Oh, where is that?
I've got it set up so it'll actually roll it for you.
Oh, where is that? Oh, race?
Abilities. Yeah, click under the abilities subtab. Or submenu.
Oh, under class features?
You know what?
Oh, there it is. Okay,
Yeah,
I
you
found
click
it.
on the shortcut. Ooh, 4 damage. Yeah, so 8. So you actually reduce it down to 0, which means that it is teetering on the point. If it takes a standard action, it starts dying. And and it's sickened as well too. And what I'm kind of picturing, because you shot from behind, you know when like you accidentally catch your tailbone, there's that unique kind of pain that's just like, oh fuck, you know, and you can feel it in your teeth. That's what's happened. You shot this thing square in the fucking tailbone, and it's just I'm gonna say it actually drops its weapon and just kind of does a whoo, 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 and is dancing around trying to grab this arrow from out of it's squarely in the center of its ass. So it is sickened for 1 round. Excellent shot, Ubungus. Next up is Telebriefing. Telebriefing sees this fracas between the goblin and Alehrer. She races past her brother and says no, and once again speaks that Varisian chant again. And because you have not received it yet, Steve, boom, enjoy, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Very nice.
So she speaks it, and your wounds seal up, and you're back to full. All right. So then it is the goblin's turn. So I'm going to make a will save for the goblin to see if he's so stupid whether he's going to continue to go after Alehrer. Because I think he thinks she did this somehow.
Yeah, he's not really sure what happened.
No, like they're really fucking dumb. All right, so I just rolled a 15, so he succeeds. So he knows that if he moves, he's going to die. And he sort of like stops and looks over at at the chimp that is next to him that looks like it's about to pummel the shit out of him, and he takes a 5-foot step. Now, actually, just give me 1 sec. I want to see if taking a 5-foot step actually makes him start dying as well. He's going to do that action regardless of whether that's the case or not. But disabled. In a staggered condition, you can take only a single move or a standard action. You can take move actions without further injuring yourself, but if you perform any standard action, you take 1 point of damage. Okay, so here's the thing. He can only take move actions, and a 5-foot step is actually not considered a move action. It's something different. So he actually can't do that. The reason that's important, it means that Annabelle gets an attack of opportunity as this guy grabbing his ass and the little arrows, sticking out of it tries to step away. Annabelle gets an attack of opportunity on him. Jeff, you want to make a... What, you want to give me a humorous description of how he goes down?
She just pushes him over as he starts to run away, and he just trips and dies.
He trips and falls right on the arrow. And
that was there that he didn't even see.
So he falls to the ground, and it sticks up, and it's now his little pot belly. There's this little arrow sticking out of it, and he looks down and kind of hits the pointy bit, and then slumps forward, dead. Okay, I think that Brunkel's not really keen on how this fight is turning out. But let me see, check his morale. Does he fight right to the very bitter end, or is he a coward?
Is he a bolter?
Yes. If if all his goblin warriors are defeated, he drops his bow. Oh, and races in to fight the PCs in melee. Bum, ba, ba, bum. So he screams And you do make out, because he's saying it in common,
Curly, run!
and I'll switch to his actual token. Oops, he's wrong layer here, guys. He leaps off Curly, and of course Curly is just, you know, I'd say dumb as a bag full of hammers, but that credits a little more than what Curly actually has. Curly goes racing off down the alleyway here, bangs into the side of these crates, and then sort of pinwheels on the other side. It's still trying to figure out where that pain from the musket came from, but it's running off in this direction, so it seems to be making its fast departure. But unfortunately, Brunkel is fucking dumb and jumped off of Curly too soon. So I think he uses all of his movement to run in to engage with you guys. Let me look at the top. Oh, there we go. And goes racing in over here. All right, so that is it for the goblins. Sir Marcius, what are you doing there, Steve-O?
Sir Marcius will take the long road around, come up, and
So he's got a movement of 20. So easily, yeah, he can get himself in there. That's enough.
go along. All right.
Yep.
And we'll two-hand this guy, or well, one hand, sorry.
One hand. Okay, so he comes racing in. Does he say anything funny?
He says you should have left while you had the chance.
Nice. That's right. And also, Sir Marcius really has a bit of an eye for Alehrer. So
Boy, Alehra's popular,
hands
man.
off of my girl. Let's see how he does. Whoa, 18. It's not a great damage roll though. So he goes racing in.
1.
And so Brunkel is he looks just like he does in that in the other photo. He's now got that dog slicer out. So he dances in and mostly ducks underneath your swing, but you do manage to clip right along the sort of like the crest of his back and do a little bit of damage to him. All right, then it is Causton's turn. What is Causton doing? He would need a move to reload the musket, but
yeah, guess he would do that.
he also has, if you click on his spell book, he does have spells as well. Because he is a hunter, he does have access to some minor spells like that Entangle.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. And the way that hunters cast spells are sort of like sorcerers, where they have a list of spells they know and they can choose whichever ones they want to cast. They're just restricted by how many they cast per day.
Does Magic Fang, like, he casts it on Annabelle?
He does. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, maybe he's going to do that.
So go ahead and click on Magic Fang. Cool. So +1 to hit and damage for Annabelle.
Sweet. And then Annabelle will attack this.
Oh, so it affects one natural weapon. So is it Annabelle's fangs or her bite or her slam? I think her bite does more damage.
Sure.
Okay. So her fangs grow more savage and primal. And yeah, why don't you make
So she will take a bite out of this?
She can actually do all. Remember that with your natural attacks, you're allowed to do all of them. As long as you don't move, like as a full action. Whoa, nat 20.
Slam with a confirmed crit.
Okay, so hold on. So that's a B. B is bludgeon. Let's just see what the card says. Numbing blow. So it does normal damage, but it also does 1d4 dex damage, and the target is disarmed.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So you hammer this thing. Let's make a...
Holy crap, it took 4 dex damage.
Oh, shit. So -2 dex
Wow.
to this thing. Wow. And 4 points of damage. Wow, that's awesome.
The second slam was a miss.
Yep. And
But the bite, which is +1 and +1,
yep.
is also a miss.
Ooh, but let's see here. A 9. Because remember, he does have -2 to his AC. That's still not
right.
Yeah, still not good enough though.
No, okay.
So I think that she, like, her first slam is actually claps him sort of right in the ear and kind of, rings his bell. But you did hit with that too. So what you also get to do, you see how it says plus grab?
Oh, I didn't see that.
What that means is that with her slam, she can also try and initiate a grapple. So
oh,
what I need
right
you to
there,
do-
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a CMD check for me, please. CMD is your combat modifier. CMB is your combat modifier bonus. This is when you try, or combat maneuver bonus, not modifier. What you're trying to do is grapple this dude. Let's see if she succeeds.
Is that under the attacks?
I think it'll be under attacks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, CMB.
A 9. So with this guy, 9.
That is not a very good roll.
No, but
Well,
he's
okay.
pretty tiny though. So CMD. No, unfortunately, that's not quite good enough. So much as you did ring this thing's bell, she tries to grab him and he slips out of her grip. All right, so that is it for Causton and for Annabelle, and it is Alehra's turn. So this really ugly and even bigger goblin has come racing around the corner, and you see him now. What are you gonna do?
All right. Lyra's gonna try to finish him off.
Okay.
She's ready.
I
All right, let's see. I think probably Hand of the Apprentice is what it's gonna be. All right.
Yep. So it'll be, because Hand of the Apprentice is a range attack, it'll be -4 to hit him because
right.
he's engaged. But
Oh,
let's see what happens.
He does have 2 less on his.
He
Oh,
does,
I could use Raven Feeblement.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, sorry, not Raven. Sorry, Frost Ray. Frost Ray.
Yeah. So that would be, here's the advantage to that, Steve, is any raise attack the touch attack or the touch AC, just like a rifle. So that means
Nice.
that they wouldn't, if he's got whatever armor he has, does nothing to help him.
All right. Ray of Frost. Okay, here we go.
Oh, no, you want to do the one under the attack.
All right.
And I think
Too
you
many
said
things open.
it's like a little plant or something, I think you said, or a flower that manifests when you cast Ray of Frost.
I like that idea. I don't think that's what I said, but
Well,
I
I'm
like
sure
it.
you had said last
Bouquet of frost.
or 2 episodes ago, you said what
It's sort of
happened.
frost crystals forming
Nice.
the air. Yes.
Let's see. So
All
under
right.
your attacks, go ahead and click the roll. 9 versus touch. No, unfortunately, that's not. This guy's still. He's a pretty nasty customer, even as beaten up as he is. It goes wide over him. Ubungus. Now I made a perception roll for him to see whether he spotted you, because you fired a thing. Now you wouldn't be able to make. You didn't make another stealth check after you fired, so he has an opportunity to try and spot you, and he did see you. So he's not going to be flat-footed now, and he's engaged actually, which is kind of shitty. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm still going to fire at him.
Okay, so you do get the bonus of the height, and you get the bonus of the whatchamacallit,
The feet.
point blank shot. Correct.
Right.
So it'll be +3 to hit, and then -4 from the being engaged. Whoa! Another nat 20. Holy shit! So unfortunately, you don't confirm the crit, but that's max damage though. So another 4 points of damage to this guy. Good lord, he is not doing well. And you, he is a pretty agile customer though. Like he's making him a very difficult target to hit. But you managed to clip an arrow, sort of like wings him in the arm. That's right, and he has no fucking weapons right now too. Jeez, I forgot.
And you're remembering the -4 dexterity, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But well, nat 20, that's an auto hit anyway.
Right.
Yeah, so you would have you hit him. It's just that he does have, I mean, mechanically speaking, he's got more hit points. One of the very cool things about Pathfinder is that you can make more. You build your adversaries the same way that you build your enemy, yourself. So like this particular goblin happens to have a couple class levels.
Right. Right. Okay. Cool.
So, and he's actually higher level than you guys too. So he is a dangerous customer. All right. Next up is Telebrief. Has Telebrief used Fortune on Sir Marcius yet? I don't think so, right?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, because I think because I wanted to use it on you guys first as PCs. So let's boom. She sees Sir Marcius engage with this thing. Sir Marcius, you will now have advantage on your next attack roll. Then it is the Goblin's turn. All right, now I want to check one thing here, guys, because there's some things. Drawing a weapon does not draw an attack of opportunity. However, picking up a weapon, I think, does. So let me quickly check that, because once we look it up, we won't have to do it again. And by we, I mean me. Let's see. Attacks of opportunity. Steve, I know we're at 9 o'clock right now. We're going to be wrapping this up as soon as this combat encounter is done. We'll be killing the session.
worries.
You can get yourself to bye-bye.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's see here. It is, here we go. Pick up an item does draw an attack of opportunity. So, Sir Marcius and Annabelle, would you kindly make an attack of opportunity on Brunkel? So that'll be Steve-O and Jeff.
Sir Marcius.
So just a regular attack?
Just a bastard sword, one hand?
Yes, please.
There's
Hello?
another not critical.
Bastard sword, one
Yeah.
hand?
Yes, please. Bastard sword, one hand. Now, let's see here. And oh gosh, he is a fucking agile little bugger. So he manages to keep out of the way of both of your attacks and collect his dog slicer again. He isn't like Sir Marcius, so he is going to. Ooh, that's nasty. That's very nasty. Ooh, it's so nasty. So what he'll do is he says, sorry, I'll point out too, so I know that it's only been a little while that since we started playing Pathfinder, but I think this is one of the few games that I get to chuckle about what they're about to do to you. So he reaches at his neck, and there's this little, like this thing that's got these little string of brass-colored jewels on them. And sorry, I'm trying to find the damn thing. One second, guys. It'll be, oh, here we go. I'm looking through my handy-dandy thing. Again, for next session, guys, I will make sure that I've gone through and prepared all this shit beforehand. So I will not make us waste time with me looking up shit. All right, so he grabs his neck, he pulls out one of these, and like actually yanks this little brass jewel off of it, and he yells out, "Take you with me, Longshanks!" And he throws it against his feet. And then what happens is there is this massive explosion of fire that bursts out from his feet, doing one more D6. All right. Woo, lordy. All right. So I need to quickly check the radius of this. I believe it's 20. So I think all the PCs are going to get caught in this, as is Brunkel. I know this is terribly exciting to watch me flip through the pages here. I should really make sure I label the video correctly. Watch as Kev pages through a giant tome. And 20 feet. Look at that. Fucking mine like a steel trap. 20-foot radius. All right, so that means everybody, including Brunkel, he just killed his allies, by the way, who just got consumed in this giant ball of fire. I'm going to make, so would you guys please give me reflex saves for everybody? The DC for this is a 14.
Boo.
He makes his, so he only takes half damage.
All right. Defensive reflex save.
Oh, Sir Marcius, nicely done. Whoa, Causton, amazing. So each of them only takes 5 points of damage. I'll make the save for Telebrief. Ooh, Telebrief fails. And, oh, she is dying.
How much damage is it if you fail?
If you fail, 11 points of damage.
Oh.
So I need a reflex. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Annabelle.
Alehrer
Alehrer.
failed.
What? Did you roll? Well, Telebrief failed, but did you roll for Alehrer?
I don't see your roll. We
Yeah,
lost Steve.
We lost Steve.
He was like, fuck this, I'm not dying. And he
If you can't hear me, you can't kill me.
yeah,
Clever move.
clever move.
Well played, Morris. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Steve, you're back. Oh, you did.
Fortunately, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So you guys, we lost you on roll 20. We haven't seen your results, so it doesn't count.
I think it's cutting it out.
Oh, sure, yeah. So just log into roll 20 and give me a reflex save.
It's cutting in and out.
Oh,
Come on.
Jeff, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I think
For Alehrer?
Yeah, for Alehrer, we need you to log in and do a reflex save, please. I didn't see your last one, so we won't count it.
I can hear you now.
Perfect.
Got some connectivity issues here.
Yeah, no problem. Someone is casting a hex of interference. So what I just need from you, Steve, is pop on roll 20 and then give me a reflex save for Alehrer. We won't count your last one because it didn't show up in the stream or in the chat or whatever it's called, the log. Let's see.
Okay, hold on.
Sure. Incidentally, Curly has run away.
Oh, good.
Take him
There you
off the thing. So Curly is gone. Let's see. You still having difficulty there, Steve?
Hello.
Hello there. How are you?
Rebooted. All right. I just refreshed roll. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Your internet has tried to call the session before.
Hello.
Steve, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello.
Marco.
Polo.
I don't know if he hears us.
I don't know if he hears us at all. No.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, Steve.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Marco.
We just don't see you in roll 20.
Yeah, I don't see it all in roll 20.
Okay.
Why don't we do this, Jeff? Jeff, you hop onto Alehrer and give me a reflex save. Let's just see how this turns out.
I refreshed it.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Does it display now? I'm not seeing it in roll 20 right now. but that does not necessarily mean you are not in there. Here, I don't see you. Well, yeah, Jeff, go ahead and give me a reflex save for Alehrer. Let's just see what.
Yeah.
You know what, actually? Why don't we do this? So the Brunkel brings that little thing out, and he hits it against the ground, and there's this burst of flame that sort of consumes everybody, and then it collapses in because fireball doesn't start fires, and we see smoke billowing away from this, in the end of this alleyway. We cut to that nobleman who's hiding behind the that crate, and it's kind of like, and he's not sure whether you've survived this thing, and we'll find out whether Alehrer survived in the next session. So,
makes sense.
Yeah, that way Steve can actually make the roll, and we'll start next session with a check. So, Steve, can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, Steve. What we're doing?
Hello?
We are going to end on a cliffhanger.
Hello?
Hello there. Hey, Steve, can you hear us?
Okay.
Okay. So, Steve, we're ending on a cliffhanger. We're going to start next
can you
session.
hear me?
Yeah, we're going to start next session with you making your reflex save, and we'll see whether Alehrer survives or is dying. We know Telebriefing is dying right now, so that will be a great way to kick off next session. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this third session of Rise of the Runelords. We hope you've enjoyed. I'm sure that we screwed up some rules. If we did and you caught it, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below and correct us on it, because there's an awful lot of rules to learn with Pathfinder and to keep track of. And if you have any questions or concerns regarding anything else about the session tonight, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, and we will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. Otherwise, we hope you found this enjoyable. I know we did. It was an opportunity for me to try and kill the characters with a necklace of fireballs. And we will see you all again. So for those who regularly tune in on the Wednesdays, on next Wednesday, we are back to Pirates of Drinax, and then playing the Mongoose 2nd Edition Traveler game. And then the week after that, we will be back to the Rise of the Runelords. So we'll be alternating Rise of the Runelords and Pirates of Drinax next, every alternate Wednesday. Another thing is I believe I will be getting my box set for Pirates of Drinax on Friday. So expect sometime this weekend that I'll be posting an unboxing video, because I am very excited to get that box set, and we'll be happy to share with you what is found within, because I imagine it's going to be awesome. Anyway, thanks so much, guys and gals, for listening. We hope you see you again very soon, and I hope to see whether Alehrer survived her first contact with a second contact with a spellcasting goblin. So we shall see. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.